What's up, y'all? It's your girl Sakina, and I'm back with another review. This is my review for, I was about to say The Real Housewives. No, it's not. This is Belle Collective. This is season 2, episode 4. So the episode opens up with Akeisha and Letitia. They're doing a Ferris Street tour. Now, it initially started off with Akeisha giving Tisha a little background history on the building that was purchased by her grandfather. So it was her granddad and her great aunt and uncle who got the property, but back then, I think they got it in the 1800s. Yeah, the 1800s. But back then, blacks weren't able to buy property, so her granddad gave the money over to one of his friends, and his friends brought the property and then put her granddad's name on the deed, which obviously this guy was a white man. And he put his trust in a white man, and it all worked out in the end. I was very surprised to hear that story, you know, the way that it actually turned out. So, I mean, shout out to that honest white man for doing his part. But, yeah, that's how they got the property. And then she was saying that they own this parking lot. And then she starts going into the history of how Ferris Street used to be a plantation, and how did she say her dad was born in a big house? I said, your dad? Girl, how old is your dad? They still was doing slavery things in this current time. Not necessarily this current time, but, you know, like, her dad is probably within let's say they were still doing plantations within the last 100 years. Hell, I mean, it's the South. It's Mississippi. I shouldn't even be surprised. But, yeah, when she said her daddy, I was kind of taken aback. Anyway, she goes on and on, you know, this becomes a tour situation. And I kind of was thinking, like, I mean, shouldn't Tisha already know this? And she definitely clarified it in her confessional. Baby, I already know all of this. She trying to be the tour guide. I already know the ins and outs of Ferris Street. Baby, I am bored. Baby, I would have cut her short and let her know. I already know all of this. Like, girl, you can save it. Like, I already know. I don't like when people be trying to tell me stuff I already know. Like, I literally would tell you, yeah, I already know. Because, baby, we just going through the motions, and I don't have time to be hearing shit over and over again. Anyway, Tisha brings up Marie. Oh, I can't wait to tell Marie about this. And I was kind of with Akeisha, like, hold on. For what? Like, yeah, she might want to be a part of this. I understand that. But, like, the way that Marie carries on when she's not in a good place with somebody, that's not a good way to showcase your personality. Because, you know, some people can, you know, put their differences aside for business purposes, but I can't really, I wouldn't be able to bet on that. So it kind of is like, yeah, I keep showing this. Let's kind of get our situation together first, because y'all already got tension as it is. Even though Tisha already said that she could put her differences aside because she don't care who takes the lead as long as they get to the end goal. But your friend is ignorant, okay? We already know that. So you might have to catch Marie on a good day. You just don't never know with her. So yeah, you and Akeisha already got issues. Y'all figure that out and how y'all gonna work as business partners or whatever, and then maybe incorporate Marie. But girl, that's too much too fast. Like, really back. Marie, this obnoxious booty of yours, no ma'am. That butt is too big. It did not look good in that satin jumpsuit that you had. I'm exhausted just talking about that, but no ma'am. So she shows up in, I don't know why she showed up in that van. Maybe it was like she fresh off of work or whatever, but like she showed up in a white van. That threw me off. But anywho, she's there to talk to Tisha about the brunch and, you know, how everything went down. Bottom line, she decided not to attend any more of the brunches. And Tisha is feeling some type of way in her confessional, saying that Marie is petty for uninviting herself and saying that it's not the brunches that's the problem, it's Marie's shady attitude. But why are you mad because she's no longer wanting to attend the brunches? She is the common denominator in all of this. You should be happy that she no longer wants to be a part of the brunches. I understand this is your friend, but she comes with a lot of drama. So yeah, she's removing herself from this situation to prevent any further situations or brunches being sabotaged. If you ask me, that's a win. Marie seems to think that people were after her during the brunch because Tisha is telling her the brunch was handpicked on people who were going through things, and I felt like, you know, you should have been helping the girls feel empowered, blah, blah, blah. But Marie is like, how can I make them feel empowered when there's shady stuff going on. But who was shading you? Nobody was shading you. Now, you had Akeisha chirping in the background about, the brunch in general, but there was no particular person, aka Latrice, who you're basically trying to get at. She was not shading you. She was not making, unless there was something edited out that we didn't see, because both of them are acting as if Marie was, there were two people involved with this whole shady thing. I don't know if the second person is Akeisha or what, but they're making it seem like somebody was, attacking Marie, and instead of giving in, she should have flew above. But I'm just like, girl, you are the reason why a lot of the brunches don't go the way they're supposed to be. We've seen it 3 times on the show, and the only time I'm gonna give you an exception when that Karen bitch was doing too much. I was on her side when it came down to that. Now, should it have been drawn out as it was? No. But even then, Tisha, you have to take accountability as well, because you gave Marie too much energy down at the brunch. She did get up and leave, so you should have just allowed her to dismiss herself and continue on with the brunch, because it became a whole thing of y'all in the men's room arguing to the point where people had to leave the table to see what the hell is going on, because y'all so passionate in y'all damn conversation. So at the end of the day, both of y'all need to take accountability, and Tisha, you need to just allow her to not be in attendance and be okay with that, because it will save you a whole bunch of drama. I'm so sick of Glenn. I was okay with him not being in the episode last week. He goes and talks to Tisha's mama, and he asks about the son and how he's adjusting and getting along with everything, because he feels like, he didn't grow up with a father. He birthed him, but that was pretty much it. So he's just trying his damnness to be the best father that he can be. And it's like, you going to keep trying to use that son as an excuse for a way to get back with Tisha. I mean, she going to go back regardless, but I see that's where you really trying to use your way back in. That's how you trying to get her back. And it's like, would you think about your son when you was doing all of that? And you can still be very active in your son's life without y'all being in the same household. You can. So don't act like it's an impossible thing, because you could be a present dad and still not live with him. It's doable. I mean, it may not be what you want, or it may not be ideal, but you did it, so deal with it. So then they start talking about Tisha, how he feels like, there needs to be compromise on her end and not just on his. And her mama is looking like, she's definitely been trying, but you have to realize that you made this bed, baby. Now you're going to have to lay in it, okay? You did what you did. You're a repeat offender. You keep talking about, if I didn't get physical, then it doesn't mean cheating. And you talking about what happened with that girl was back then. Okay, it may have happened back then, or it may have happened 8 years ago, however long it was. But yeah, now there's a rumored baby that you have been trying to figure out whether it's your baby or not throughout the years. And then don't forget, honey, you was texting women the same night you reproposed. So fuck out of here. We don't care about your sob story, because you ain't doing nothing but trying to manipulate the situation to get her back at home so you can roam the streets yet again after you get her comfortable. Akeisha is with her husband, and they're at a coffee shop, and she's trying to help him, get the visual of this coffee shop being on Fair Street, and he's from New York. She already told us that, and she's from Mississippi. She wants to move back. He does not. It's polar opposites, right? New York is a fast pace. There's always something going on. There's noise, like all of that. And then you get to Jackson, or, just the state of Mississippi, it's a bit slower, like the South is in general. It's a bit slower. It's just, it'll be a total culture shock from somebody who is from New York, or just any fast-paced type of city. So they're already at odds with that. She mentions how she met So Gucci, and they need to find somewhere to stay, especially if they're trying to get Fair Street off the ground. And he's like, okay, well, what's the deadline, sis? Because he's not having it. He's really not trying to move to Jackson. And he did make it clear, like, I'm not trying to go against you. It's just, never in his wildest dreams would he think that he would be living in Jackson, Mississippi. And she was like, listen, baby, be very clear. Like, I'm Southern, but I'm not country. He's country, I'm not. He want to know what's the difference. Baby, there is definitely a difference. When you're country, baby, it's so many things that I could list off, but I put myself on the spot, so I can't even think right now. But just know, there's a difference between being Southern and country, okay? Because I let my family from Ohio know that they're country, because the way that they act, they don't really operate as Northerners. They really operate as Southerners. That's because my great grandma and my great granddad, my great granddad's from Alabama, and my great grandma, she's from Florida. So, honey, y'all got that countryness in y'all. Y'all really act like Southerners, but y'all just live in Ohio because that's where y'all was born. So, anyway, there's definitely a difference, but we're just gonna see the clash between the two of them, because like I say, he don't want to stay there. She ain't got no timeline. She want to be where her family is. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe it is good to have property there in Jackson. If y'all gonna have, businesses there and stuff, y'all can, come down, have somewhere to stay, wherever. But if your husband is not really with it, then shit, y'all might have to just be flying in and out all the time. And I know that might be a little pricey, but hell, I'm sure he got the coin, or at least y'all making it seem like y'all got some. So, hell, fly out every other week or, once a month, whatever. But I understand Akeisha wanting to be there in a process because it is a ground up situation. So, we'll just see how this play out. So, we actually hop right into this house hunt. So, Gucci and Akeisha meet up at a house now. So, Gucci is saying that Akeisha style is modern and upscale, but I said, sis, this is not a modern house. A modern house is, well, Latrice's house, but it's still a nice house. And obviously they always try to give you more than one option, throw a wild card out there and stuff like that. So they're at this house, and the house is very nice. Akeisha did say that they are renting currently, but she's not really into the idea of paying people's mortgage. So she feels like, if I'm gonna spend so much time here, then I might as well have some ownership. So that's the reason why they're house hunting. And her husband comes in, and he's complaining about things like, the steps, and there's no kids running around even though it's a rainy day and it's quiet and all of that. It's like, all right, these things that you're complaining about really aren't that big of a deal. He's talking about, where's the elevator in the house, honey? You can build that. Like, let's not do it, because you talking about you got the coin, y'all live in a mansion, y'all got this, you got your own STEM room, all these things that you have. Okay, well, obviously you got the money to add it on down here in Jackson. So she's asking how he feels about the house, and he's like, bro, I feel like you're trying to trap me. Like, this is a lot of house for a temporary stay. And I feel, Akeisha, like, I've changed my life around for you. I've been in New Jersey all this time, in New York, and my family always coming to you. Now we can have a place where they can come and your family could come. Like, I need you to Michelle me the way that I Barack you, or whatever she said. And I feel her on that. It is all about compromise. And I like the fact that he isn't completely shutting it down. He just feels like they just gotta meet somewhere in the middle. At the end of the day, they're gonna keep house hunting and figuring it out. But at least he's not like dead set on shutting it out, even though he kind of gives that energy off sometimes. So, like I said, we just have to see how it plays out in the end. So Essie made a stop over. She made a stop over to Latrice's Goddess Limps. And it's all kind of shade being thrown out the gate. And I'm like, oh my gosh, y'all, stop. I'm sure she didn't come here for all of that. Latrice, you definitely initiated the shade. I mean, you was kind of getting her together with the, the hair situation, the hair products and all of that, girl. Okay. Anyway, they sit down, and Essie really wanted to have a conversation with her over the whole Marie situation and, owning her part in it. But Latrice is standing firm in her word that she didn't have anything to do with what was happening as far as her business being sabotaged. But she did have her hand in something else, because on the phone, like she said, and I feel like I vaguely remember this at the reunion. I think this was what they were talking about at the reunion, if my memory is serving me right. But Latrice was on the phone with somebody, and they was like, do you still want me to get the information on Marie and Latrice? And Letitia. And Latrice was like, don't do it for Tisha, but yeah, get whatever you need on Marie. So I was like, okay, well, the information that you were supposed to get on Marie, is that the information to sabotage her business? Like, I don't know. And Essie was saying in her confessional, and she told Latrice that they did suffer greatly from that. They lost clients and they lost patients. I think she said that. Employees and clients, something. They lost some employees and stuff. They did take a hit from that. So, And that kind of go back to what I said last week. Like, you know, you keep saying that Latrice did this, but it's like Essie didn't have a problem with it. But, you know, Essie is actually backing that claim up this week. So she just really feels like they need to have a conversation and squash it. And Latrice has moved past it. Essie was telling her about Marie's health issues. Come to find out, both Essie and Marie have lupus. So, you know, the stress on top of everything else Marie has in her life is really just not helping her as far as, you know, her well-being. And Latrice was like, you know, I do, my heart goes out to her and all of that. She want to sit down and have a conversation. So, child, we already know how Marie get to act in the moment that she see Latrice. So I'm trying to figure out how Essie is going to come up to how she's going to approach the situation with Marie. Because does Marie even know that you're down here at Goddess Lent, sis? Because you know how ignorant she can be. I don't know if we're going to get that this episode or not, but good luck. I'm really sick of Tisha and Glenn, and it's really because I'm sick of Glenn. Like, I don't like seeing him on my screen every time he try to explain himself and, you know, profess his love and say how much he miss his family. I'm just waiting on him to, like, crack a smile, bust out laughing, because he's putting on his worst act. I just don't believe anything that he says. And Tisha coming up there with, you know, her outfit was cute or whatever, but it's like, yeah, I want you to see what you missed and blah, blah, blah. It's just like, y'all stop playing this stupid game and just go ahead and get back together. Because, I mean, the things that Tisha's saying, she's right. You know, like, it's a privilege to be with me. You making me look like a fool, show up to the therapy sessions for what? Because you've done this before. You know, you've done everything right before, and then you fucked up again. Like, I'm watching patterns and not the things that's out of your mouth. You know, all it is, like, I understand where she's coming from, but it's just like, but are you serious? Because at this point, I'm like, okay, so what episode are you going to take him back? What episode are y'all going to have this breakthrough moment where you move back into the house? Because that's really what I'm waiting on. I really feel like you should have got rid of his ass a long time ago. Point blank. Really. Because at this point, you can't trust him. His line of business is always going to be with him traveling, and then he's talking about how he don't like being alone and all of that shit. Nigga, I don't give a fuck. That don't give you a okay to go and be with other women. Like, girl, please, you listening to what he's saying? Go figure out your own stuff, and I'm gonna be over here. Me and my baby, we gonna be all right. We gonna have a good life, okay? You figure out your issues while you out there working on the steamboat. But baby, you're not the one for me. I don't understand why Tisha keep entertaining this bull. I'm tired of watching it because it's not entertaining to me. She going home. That last part of the scene, she going home. She 90% back in. Girl, you 100% back in. Stop it. So, I mean, I'm just so afraid to love you again. I've changed. I'm not going to do it no more. Da, da, da. But he did it before, and he did it before. And he did it before. And the cycle continues. Anyway, at this point, I'm over it. No longer interested. So let's go ahead and wrap up this review. Let's get down in the comments and talk. Also, be sure to check us out on the Whether You Like It or Not panel. It will be on Tuesday night at 9:15 Eastern Standard Time. It will be on Really Be TV's channel. Check the community tab. Set your reminders. Come hang with us. All right, y'all. Let's get down in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.